For people who don't know anything about Stooge, can you tell me a little bit about the focus of the movie?
The focus of the movie. The film, the main themes are obsession and depression, and overcoming depression through obsession. And the obsession is Iggy Pop. And I follow a man in his late 40s through to his early 50s as he comes to terms with the fact that he's about to turn 50 and he's still manic and and he's still obsessed with Iggy Pop. And it's a sort of you think all the way through the film that he's going to meet Iggy and that's going to solve everything, all his problems. But then you discover something else through the movie. So I think that summed it up a bit.
Pretty well, pretty well. Where did the idea for this film come from?
Robert, who is the fan of Iggy Pop, he stalked me. He tracked me down, and I'd just been in Africa filming gorillas, wild gorillas, and he thought that I had what it took to follow Iggy Pop in the wild, which is essentially what we did. We stalked Iggy Pop in the wild, and Iggy didn't know it, by the way. He had no idea that we were following him. So Rob thought that I had what it took to follow Iggy, because he believes that Iggy is the last silverback of rock and roll. So he thinks that Iggy's a silverback. And he thought that I had the credentials. I know it sounds mad.
It's cool.
But I thought he was mad, and I kept telling him to go away, but he kept coming back. And then in the end, I gave in, and I went to LA with him.
Or is he going to cease and desist or make his film,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. That was it, yeah.
So Martin,
yeah.
what do you think audiences have in store when they sit down and they watch this film?
I think it's going to be an interesting ride. And when you look at the movie, it takes you different places. There's lots of funny elements in that thing. There is a kind of, when you deal with depression, right, it's a topic that a lot of people are familiar with, but not so many people want to be reminded of it. So I think the movie could act like a catalyst for a lot of people. They see something they're familiar with, but without the message being bashed on the heads. It's a very subtle delivery method how to deal with depression. And when Madeleine said depression, try to solve depression with obsession. I think it's a very interesting combination that a lot of people can relate to. So once people get into the groove of the movie, I think they will find some parallels in their own lives too, not just everybody might have their own Iggy Pop or something they're after. But I think the theme, I mean, it's very, even in ancient times, the story of Icarus, you fly close to the sun and you burn. So mankind learned that lesson. So that's essentially what Robert does. He flies close. Iggy is the sun for him, but he knows very well to stay away from it. So to sum it all up, you have obsession, depression, keep your distance, and have this goal in mind. If I do this, it might solve my problem. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it might not work. But even at the end, something happens that you find resolution and you can go on with your life.
Is it fair to say you found this film relatable, the subject matter, despite, it's quite wild?
I really wanted to understand it, and I thought that by the end of my film I would have understood it. And I'm back. I've gone full circle. I'm back at square one. I think you need a degree in psychology. I think I should have had a degree in psychology before making it, and maybe it would have helped. Yeah, I should have.
Well, I want to say congratulations on your Raindance selection. What does it mean for you to be accepted by Raindance?
Oh my God, the world to me. I love Raindance. I had my last film, Trolleywood, here too. And they've just been unbelievably supportive and incredible, Raindance. I want to come back here every year for the rest of my life. They've really helped out with Stooge as well, because not knowing the background of everything, but I had a nightmare, not a nightmare, but music clearances were really difficult. We had 9 Iggy Pop songs and had to get them all cleared. And the fact that Raindance nominated us for Best UK Feature, it helped expedite everything, all those clearances, and I really do believe that without that nomination, we might not have got our clearances in time. So a huge, massive thanks to Raindance. I owe them everything. I owe them this movie, really. They've been amazing.